What's that great big red thing there? It looks like a flame.
Looks more like a giant spliff to me.
A giant spliff? What's a giant spliff? Let's go and have a look. Oh, this is Nottingham Science Park.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Well, that looks like wood. Isn't that flammable?
The flammable cladding's on the bottom, look.
Oh.
I wonder who built this. You might have to do some research, but it's probably your local mafia.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Nottingham Criminal Cartel.
There you go, Jubilee Conference
This looks like a ship.
It does, doesn't it? Well, apparently, it's this building coming up here that's all red and black.
That's disgusting.
It's got the same flammable covering or cladding, yeah, that was on the Grenfell Tower. So you can imagine all these people were living and working in there. If this went up,
does it go up?
It would really go up. We don't want the local councils to have blood
on their hands.
Yeah, seeing as they've got crap on their cocks from all the buggery jiggery pokery that's been going on. Look at that. Yeah, it's got all that cladding on. Well, I never. Well, look at those buildings to the right. I wonder if they're covered in that flammable material.
They look like it, don't they?
Again, let's go and have a look round here. Nottingham 2 it's called. Nottingham 2. Make your room a roost. So this is for students. Again, we were, you know, you can imagine if there's a fire around here. And it'd be pretty horrific if these buildings went up.
Especially with that cladding, because it definitely looks like the flammable type.
Well, this green building here definitely looks like flammable material to me. You know how the Grenfell building went up? Can you imagine if that went up? So should somebody be asking the local council or their local councils to remove this?
Well, if I mean, obviously when this video goes out, they'll be on notice that this type of material's on the buildings, and therefore if they do nothing about it and something does happen, then the leader, John Collins, and the CEO, Ian Currier, may just have blood on their hands.
Oh, so they're their names, are they? The leaders of the local council?
The leaders of the local mafia.
I'd never heard those names before.
I just looked them up and found them.
Right. If we're not here, call us.
Nottingham 2, student roost. Ah, they're all chickens. That's
more like student roast. Are we all actually the local council's commercial waste? That's how they should look, you know, covered in concrete, not flammable materials.
Yeah, what'll probably happen is they'll probably cover them in flammable materials next.
Well, at least that would get a load of money out of the public purse. Stop giving them ideas.
Is that another Nottingham Criminal Cartel fire trap?
You bet it is. Yeah, it's got all that, I was going to say flame resistant, but it's definitely not flame resistant coating on the outside.
Didn't it used to be concrete?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And they decided to cover it in...
Yeah, to make it more aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Yeah, let's go and have a look. Let's go around the corner. Because everything around here seems to be owned by Nottingham City Council.
Nottingham Criminal
Cartel. They really
Cartel.
look after us, don't they? They're really so good for us. Here it is, look. Well, Nottingham City Council on everything round here. Residents only. Okay. I wonder what it's owned by. Shall we go and have a look? Wow.
It'll be the criminal mafia cartel, won't it?
Doesn't that look like Grenfell Tower?
Doesn't it just?
So, I wonder what this building's called. It used to be called something like Buckland or Bladen, but I think that was in Radford.
Oh.
That's what it's called.
Welcome to High Point.
I wonder who owns it then.
The council used to.
Maybe they've sold it. Keep the blood off their hands. So you reckon that's a big fire trap, do you?
Yeah, or to make a load of money. Like they're trying to sell off that land over at Bestwood.
Oh yeah. So we're coming round the corner on Maid Marian Way, and this is the one we saw last week. It used to be the Odeon Cinema. This building here on
Kaplan Residences.
That's it. It's a student building now. It's absolutely vast. Again, as you can see, there's the flammable cladding on it. I'm not quite sure who refurbished it, but you could have a look into it.
What happened when they did this up? I remember there was all plants coming down the side, and they've all gone now, so that was another waste of money.
Yeah, exactly. But there's somebody that likes to spend money and give it to other people, and
Their
cut
mates.
corners with others. It did used to be the Odeon Cinema. Absolutely massive it was. And apparently there was a man, I think in the Isle of Wight, used to own it. He applied to turn it into a nightclub, and the local council said no, no, no. And then he tried to, made applications to make it into a shopping mall, and then they said no, no, no. Then apparently, so I've heard, I think this was in the Post, the Nottingham Post, and the Arrow, and they compulsive purchased ordered it, and because it was covered in asbestos.
So they'll compulsive purchased it at a fraction of the price.
Yes,
then.
of course. But if you think about it, if you need to remove asbestos, who do you apply to? Who's going to give you the licence?
The council.
Who?
The council.
The local council.
So if the guy that owned it had applied for a licence to have the asbestos removed, they would have said no. And they just kept saying no and no and no until the place was so run down, they then compulsory purchased it.
Well, here we are again, at the same place, the demolition of the Broad Marsh, privately owned.
Yes, we're almost at the centre of the Robin City. Oh, Robin Council City.
Feels like we've gone in 1 week round in a circle.